الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه وأزواجه أجمعين وعلى من سار على نهجهم واتبع هداهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. This is a topic I've been talking about for 40 years now. My experience in Afghanistan. I shared it before with many people and mentioned it in some of my books. I mentioned it always whenever the topic comes up because I'd like to announce to the people that we did our duty to defend our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help them, to help all Muslims. In the early era of the Jihad in Afghanistan, the Ummah came together and the scholars of Islam came together, gave their fatwa. I witnessed some of the black market for weapons in Peshawar, selling weapons to the Mujahideen. You see, in the early era, when the communists came in, the Muslims wouldn't tolerate that. Muslims of Afghanistan, mashallah. They wouldn't tolerate that. And they all rose up in rebellion against the communists, the Afghani communists who invited the Russian Soviet communists. And the whole country became pots of fire, really, for the invaders and for the Afghani kuffar who helped them, who were communist. The whole country, and so many of them, with the death and destruction the Soviet army and especially the Air Force brought to Afghanistan, forced many of them to take their families to Pakistan. And therefore, we found there so many camps for the Muhajirin, called them Muhajirin, and the men went to fight. In the beginning, the Ummah knew about this as soon as it happened, the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all over the world. But the Afghanis are the ones who were touched by it immediately. They rose up against those invaders who are kuffar, clearly, to fight them. And the religion was a major part of why they fought. In the beginning, they took weapons from the Afghani army. Many of them didn't want to fight their own brothers and sisters, so they gave up their weapons. Or when battles happened, they took their weapons. And then the Ummah started knowing about what's going on, and they raised hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe billions of dollars for the Afghani brothers. The Ummah, again, thought that the Jihad, the true Jihad, is coming back, that the Ummah now is finally recognizing, they are remembering that defense mechanism called Jihad against the devil, against the invaders, against wicked people. And in this case, the invaders were intent on destroying Islam in Afghanistan and killing as many people as they wanted. They were evil ones, the communists, even compared to other kuffar with their known enmity to Islam and Muslims. So they rose, mashallah, and it was every city, every town. The countryside was mostly in the hands of the Mujahideen quickly. They had weapons, and they were confiscating weapons from the enemy. They were buying in Pakistan. The money was coming from all over the world. In America here, yes, they raise funds. The country here, America, did not object. In fact, they liked it because they thought that those Afghanis can do to the Soviet Union's the bleeding that the Soviets did in Vietnam. In any case, and the Chinese. In any case, funds were raised everywhere. I went myself to several Muslim countries, raised funds for them, sent the money immediately to them. Wallah, alhamd, didn't take anything for myself, but they paid for my trips. Also, Sheikh Abdullah Azam, rahimahullah, went all over the world, literally, wherever they allowed him to speak about the Afghani people, their plight, about the terms of jihad, coming back, Ya Ummah of Muhammad, again, coming back. It was a wonderful feeling all over the world. People who were not religious before, they started feeling excitement that finally we are doing something. So in the years leading to what happened later on, especially when the Taliban came and Abdullah and Osama bin Laden, Abu Abdullah and the others, before that, the money was coming from all over the world. I witnessed some of it. The Gulf area that the people keep talking that, and there is any criticism, okay. But when Saudi, Kuwait, they wake up, hundreds of millions of dollars came to the Afghani Mujahideen through those areas. And they used the money to buy weapons. I witnessed some of the buying and selling. I witnessed some of the cleaning of the weapons that we bought. And the weapons, of course, were mixed, either Russian or American made or Pakistani made. So they bought the weapons with money. Then other countries were helping, giving them things, allowing them, selling them weapons. You see the Western weapons that they bought on the black market, or in the black market. It wasn't a free gift. The scholars of the Ummah, and in specific Abdullah Azam, rahimahullah, worked very, 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 very hard to raise funds. And that money went and they spent it on buying weapons. An entire country, maybe 20 million people at the time, like all of them, you see that all of them, they have this jihad is their slogan. They, of course, wanted to defend their country, their area, which is natural. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward people who die in defense of their land. You know that, it's die as a shaheed if they are sincere. So all these good reminders of times past where the Ummah was doing the jihad, and I'm thinking in my tree, let me sit up, made the Ummah feel great, except for a few countries that were led by ruthless leaders who are closer to being communist than some of the communists even. Ruthless. They are anti-Islam. They were helping, supporting the Russians like openly. Other than that, the Ummah it came back to life as it feels today. And the Ummah again felt confidence that the religion is able again to bring people together. At that time, in the early era, tens of thousands of students of knowledge led the fights in various parts of Afghanistan. Afghanistan is big. It's big. Mountains and all these things, unbelievable. I remember in August, middle of the summer, I was thirsty. And I was told by others, you see some hole in the ground covered by leaves or something, remove the leaves, you'll find ice. You'll find ice there. And I did. Tasted incredible. So it is a big country with so many localities, subhanallah. So they all rose up for the jihad. So that country was fighting for their religion. There is no doubt about it. And led by tens of thousands, at least thousands of people who studied the religion. Many of them in Medina. Many of them we're Salafi. They told me that. They said, we are Salafi, but our people, we need to be patient with them. And we are fighting, especially now, any hint of anything that what the people used to do before, or some of them, with regards to deviations in various things. So many of those, most of them were killed. They were killed in the early era. And later on, the Afghani Ummah was left with very few of these students of knowledge. May Allah grant them His mercy. The scholars who are Salafi, the scholars of the Ummah, Ibn Baz, Ibn Uthaymeen, Al-Albani, issued fatwa, knowing about the Afghani Ummah, about the status in the religion, about the leaders. They issued fatwa to go help your brothers and sisters, and we did. Some hypocrites, munafiqeen, whose best effort for the Ummah is criticizing others and slandering them, saying this, sitting at home, maybe sitting in the restaurant, or, typing things, and, they said, yeah, those people went to fight because America gave them permission. Shut up, you coward. You're a coward. You are a coward. I have to apologize sincerely that I cannot smack you here for two reasons. I don't know who you are. You might be a Muslim, you might be a Shia, who knows? I don't even know if you're a man or a woman, because you're hiding behind a screen name. I apologize. I can't smack you. I can tell you to your face that you're a hypocrite, you're a liar. America had nothing to do with Afghanistan. America had nothing to do with Afghanistan. They used the opportunity to let the people of Afghanistan literally bleed the Soviet Union. That's what happened. I once told one of the government officials here in America, one from the FBI, I told him, while you were thinking about how to avenge what happened to you in Vietnam, the Afghanis, they brought down the Soviet Union. You didn't. It's the Afghanis with their bravery, with what they did for Allah, for the Jihad. You didn't. You were just sitting there, and they're selling weapons too. Yeah, Muslims, they were selling weapons too. You can buy weapons in Pakistan. I can take you if you want. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. To show you, go to Peshawar, and people will show you where the black market is. It's going to be the same place in Peshawar at a minimum, all over the border. We used to buy weapons from there. I was just a foot soldier, a small foot soldier in the middle of all this movement of jihad. I was very happy that I'm a foot soldier. I was young. Abdullah Azzam, rahimahullah, did so much effort, tireless, to let the people know about the Afghani jihad. And he's a fighter. He fought against the Jews when he was in Jordan. He's a mujahid. Anyone who says otherwise, I'm sorry, I can't smack you. Anyway, yes, he was a mujahid. He was a student of Al-Albani. His aqidah was, for the most part, reasonable, except for some issues that I used to argue with him. And he was a famous teacher, a PhD. I was just a young man, but he knew I was a Salafi. We spoke about some things, and he used to call me Sheikh. I said, I'm not a Sheikh, you are. Student of Al-Albani. And sometimes he would look at me when he was talking in Arabic to say, did I say it right? I tell him, yes. Wallah, I remember that. And one time I said to Abdullah Azzam, you see, it's me and you and Allah. Who are among the groups that the Ummah has divided into? Which group you have more volunteers coming here to fight from? He said the Salafis. I said, then stop criticizing them. Yeah? You see, I was then as I am today, wallahi alhamd. I wouldn't put up for nonsense. Anyway, so this is what happened, and the Ummah came together and the students of knowledge. I remember so many of them studied in Medina. They speak Arabic fluently, and it was a feeling that's different. So I wanted to be a foot soldier there because I was a foot soldier. I love that. I don't want to be a leader. I still today don't want to be a leader. It's just because we need when the religion needs us, we have to come forward and stand for the religion because we want this written in our record, and I want this written in my record too. The Afghani jihad in the beginning was a clean jihad for the sake of Allah, as some of the Salafi Shuyukh told me. They told me too that we think that the Afghani jihad started for the sake of Allah in the beginning. In the later parts, we'll talk about it later. I'm not talking about those parts now. I'm talking about the early era, before the Khawarij came, specifically. And America had nothing to do with it. So for a coward who's not doing anything for the Ummah, to come slander the Afghanis that they started this for America gave them permission, you're a liar. You're a kadhab. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a kadhab. You're a liar. You're a kadhab. And people like you, because of the way you keep talking about these issues, make the Ummah feel like depressed, like nothing works. Everything comes and goes and nothing happens. You have no idea what the feeling the Ummah had during that time. And America did not guide the jihad in Afghanistan. The Mujahideen in the beginning bought their weapons from all over the world, including Sweden, black market, and this is what happened. America did not give us permission. What kind of a coward is this? I was here in America and I left everything and everyone. I went there to fight for the sake of Allah, to help our Muslim brothers and sisters, wishing to be a minor student of knowledge there who's fighting. Like some Salafis who had knowledge asked me once time, why did you go there? I said, I paid your zakah, because they keep saying the Salafis don't make jihad. So I paid the zakah from the Salafis, Salafi da'wah, to go there. And there's so many Salafis were there. Don't say that we took permission from America. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? You're a coward and a liar. And people like you make people feel depressed that nothing is working. All these Islamic slogans, they come and go, but it was a good time. So remember that time, and don't ever think that America had anything to do with it. They just used the opportunity, opportunists, they're kuffar. And I was here in America, I didn't take permission from anyone. I took permission from the Pakistanis. I went there to the airport, they gave me a visa, and I renewed my visa when it came to, finish, and so many others did the same. So Pakistanis are Muslims too, aren't they? They're not America. Why would you allow your tongue to keep moving and lose your hasanat saying what is completely rubbish? Kadhib, lying. La ilaha illallah. The first part of the jihadi, the Afghani jihad. The other parts later, inshallah, if I have the time. If I don't, I'm working on books. Jalal Abualrub from Palestine, from the city of Jenin in the West Bank. May Allah bring Palestine back to us. And the Ummah needs to come together again and do for Palestine the same thing they did for Afghanistan, because the Palestinian people, they really need that. IslamLife.com, ISLAMLIFE.com, IslamLife.com. Visit us there and leave some mark there, some donations, so we can continue da'wah. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة لله